Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Tuesday means it's Type 2 or Standard Tuesday, and today we're going to take a look at an old Standard deck that's been updated a bit by one really powerful addition from Rivals of Ixalan. This is Huatli Cats. Comes to us from Ishikawa Shu, who took it to a undefeated finish in a small Japanese tournament, so congrats to Shu on a really sweet deck. A quick reminder before we break down Huatli Cats for Standard. If you enjoyed this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So Huatli Cats is all about the cat curve. So we start off with probably our two most important cats, even though one technically isn't a cat in our hand, but we have our cat lord. So Regal Caracal has proven itself to be just a really strong card on its own. You only get a 3/3 for 5, but it comes along with two 1/1 life-linking cats that are 2/2s thanks to the Regal Caracal pumping them. So that's a total of 9 power and toughness split across 3 bodies for 5 mana. So not just is Regal Caracal good on its own, it's also a way to pump all of our other cats, and it works really well with our other pseudo cat lord in Metallic Mimic. So Metallic Mimic, we put it down, we name cat, then let's say we cast a Regal Caracal. We're not getting 9 power and toughness for 5 mana across 3 bodies. We're getting 12 power and toughness because all the tokens are benefiting from Metallic Mimic getting the +1/+1 counter. So this just makes our cats really big. The combination of Caracal and Metallic Mimic means our cats that don't look that scary at first glance on their own actually get really scary because they keep growing thanks to our lords. The rest of our cats, Sacred Cat, kind of the surprise sleeper hit of Standard, only a 1/1 lifelinker for 1, but it's nice because it comes back from the graveyard for just a single mana. If we have a Metallic Mimic, it gets a counter. It's a 2/2 lifelinker for 1, which is a pretty good deal. Plus, the ability to come back after it dies is really helpful. Then we have Adorn Pouncer, rounding out our 2-drop slot, another Embalm type cat, except actually Eternalize in this case. The front half, isn't super scary. A 1/1 double strike, if we get enough lords it can be good, but it's really powerful when it comes back as a 4/4 double striker from the graveyard after it dies. Then we have Pride Sovereign, which is sort of like a reverse cat lord. Instead of pumping our other cats, it gets pumped by all of our other cats. So when this comes down, let's say we just Sacred Cat into Adorn Pouncer, then Pride Sovereign. Pride Sovereign is going to be a 4/4 for 3, which is already a really good deal. Plus, if for some reason we can't attack with it, we can always just exert it, make some cat tokens, which then grows our Pride Sovereign even more. So a really big threat in this 3-drop slot. And that brings us to our non-cat, but the key card from Rivals of Ixalan for the deck, Huatli Radiant Champion. So we were just talking about all these kind of go-wide cats. All of the cats in our deck, outside of Metallic Mimic, either make cat tokens or come back from the graveyard in token form, which means we're going to have a lot of bodies on the battlefield. And Huatli is great in decks like that, because we can ultimate Huatli really quickly. Then we cast our Regal Caracal, and we're not just getting all these bodies on the battlefield, we're also drawing 3 cards. 1 from the Caracal, 2 from the tokens. We exert our Pride Sovereign, we're drawing 2 cards from the tokens entering the battlefield. We get back a Sacred Cat from the graveyard, we're drawing a card. So this just keeps us cycling through our deck and lets us overwhelm our opponent with card advantage. Plus, even outside the emblem, just the ability to have 3 or 4 or 5 cats on the battlefield, negative Huatli on a lifelinker, for example, that's a huge chunk of life, a lot of damage coming across, swinging the race in our favor. So Huatli is just like the biggest, most perfect reason to play cats in our current Standard format. It's right on color, works well with the theme of the deck, and just a great addition to the archetype. As far as the spells in our deck, we have Blossoming Defense to protect our cats. So we don't want our Metallic Mimics and Pride Sovereigns and Regal Caracals dying to our opponent's removal. This fizzles it, plus helps us force through a little bit more damage. And then Appeal to Authority is kind of another finisher. Appeal is actually Huatli's -1 ability on a spell, but Authority lets us tap down our opponent's creatures, and it gives our creatures vigilance. So this is a way we can just force through a ton of damage without worrying about the backswing. The combination of Appeal And also, Huatli means that we can double up on that ability. So if we have 5 creatures, let's say, in the battlefield, we're going to give a creature +10/+10 and tap down 2 blockers. That's enough to steal a lot of games, and that's not even including like Adorn Pouncer's Double Strike and the lifelink on some of our cats. So really, really powerful in the deck. Aethersphere Harvester is just a way we can kind of play on curve and also deal with Glorybringers, deal with Rekindling Phoenixes. Big, fast flyers would be a problem for the deck. It blocks everything, it gains us more life, and it's a pretty reasonable threat in our own. We make lots of 1/1s. This is a good way to upgrade those 1/1s into a real threat. And then for removal, 1 cast out, 2 Ixalan's Binding, just catch all removal spells. In the mana base, probably the most interesting part of the deck is we are maxed out on our deserts. We have the full 4 Heship Oasises and the full 4 Sheffet Dunes, which are great backup finishers. So we have a lot of lands in this deck, more than you'd think, 26 lands, which is a lot for a fairly aggressive deck, but that's because we actually want to make our land drops, because we want to be sacking our lands to pump our team, to pump our creatures, to win the game that way. Scavenger Ground's just a hedge against God Pharaoh's Gift, against the Scarab God decks. Scattered Groves and Sun Petal Grove is dual lands and some basic lands. As far as the sideboard, for control matchups, we got 3 options. Shaper Sanctuary just draws us a card whenever our opponent targets our stuff. So if they want to Fatal Push one of our cats, we get to draw a card. If they want to cast out a cat, we get to draw a card. Dusk to Dawn lets us maybe blow up a bunch of dinosaurs, but get back most of our cats from the graveyard, since they're small creatures. So kind of does double duty as a Wrath, while also this big card advantage engine if we're playing against Wraths and our opponent has a lot of disruption. And then a Johnny, not only a great Planeswalker in control matchups, because it generates a ton of card advantage, gives us some removal, eventually wins the game if we ultimate, but it's also a cat, so it's perfectly on flavor as well. Then we have a bunch of removal. Thopter Arrest just kind of, again, hits basically anything, artifact or creature for only 3 mana. Naturalize for opposing vehicles and God Pharaoh's Gift. Sky Sovereign, more removal and another big flying body, great against Planeswalkers. And then Gideon's Intervention is our plan primarily against combo. Like, the deck would really struggle with Approach of the Second Sons because we don't have discard, we don't have counters, but Gideon's Intervention is a great way to prevent that from beating us. And that is Huatli Cats for Standard. And that's our Instant Deck for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.